Tuesday, July 28th, Ontario Premier Doug Ford made multiple stops here in Durham Region. One of his stops was outside the Ajax Pickering site of Lakeridge Health for a major long-term care announcement. That afternoon, he made another stop outside here, All or Nothing Brewhouse in Oshawa, where we were given an exclusive one-on-one interview.
It was so tough at one point to find cans.
Premier, thanks so much for spending some time with us.
Oh, it's great.
Let's start off with the reason you're here today.
Yes.
is the tour of All or Nothing Brewhouse and your reaction to seeing a local company that was able to reinvent itself and keep itself going under very difficult circumstances.
Absolutely. Well, I want to first of all thank Jeff and Eric, the two brothers that started this back in 2014, and I love entrepreneurs. Absolutely love them. Started from absolutely nothing, did so much work in here, employing people, but most importantly, showed the true Ontario spirit. When we were in desperate need of hand sanitizer, they immediately switched over their line. And as Jeff was telling me, Eric's literally slept here every single night to get this up and going. And again, that's the true Ontario spirit. Everyone has pitched in. When I always say Team Ontario, I always talk about the 14.5 million people and the great companies that switched over their lines literally overnight. So we're very, very grateful. And if you're in this area, Oshawa, come by and have a nice cold beer.
Okay, second question. Big day for announcements today,
Yes.
Especially here in Durham Region
Yes,
in your
sir.
long-term care announcement. Why was Ajax chosen for the accelerated build pilot?
Well, we want to do it right across the province, but there was 3 sites that were really shovel ready. That before the pandemic, before COVID-19, they had plans on putting a long-term care home right there. And I'm a big believer of campuses of care. Rather than stick a long-term care home way out in the, away from the hospital, it'd be great to have it as close to the hospital as possible, and that's what we're doing here in Durham, and we did it in Peel, and we'll do another one in Toronto. But what's amazing about this is when everyone pitches in, all municipalities and the province and labor and the hospitals, something that would take typically 4, 5, 6 years is going to take 7 months. It's unheard of, and it's amazing what can be done when we all cooperate, we collaborate, and work together. So we're going to have a 6-story building, 320 beds, in a little over 7 months. And my question is, if everyone can collaborate on long-term care, why can't we do that when companies come to Ontario and say, I want to open up? And sometimes they'll take 5, 6 years just to get through the EA side of things, environmental assessment. It's unacceptable. We're competing against the rest of the world. We're competing against our neighbors south of the border. And I can tell you, as a businessman, if we don't give companies the environment to grow and thrive in this province, there's 50 other places south of the border that will do it in a heartbeat, and 12 other places around Canada that will do it in a heartbeat. So we need to cut the red tape, regulations, and get stuff going more than ever now.
Now, the bricks and mortar are one thing. Staffing it adequately is another challenge.
Yes.
How difficult is it going to be to staff our long-term care homes on an ongoing basis?
Well, that's that's one of the challenges that we're facing. We have a working group that's going to be reporting out over the next few days. We're going to make that public. And I look forward to it. We need to put more money, which we are, $1.75 billion, more than any government in the history of Canada, not just in the province. And we're really going to focus on getting people and asking them, when they go through college, go become a PSW, become a nurse, become someone that can help out in long-term care. It's a challenging job, and I'm so grateful we do have some great people across the province.
Changes do take time.
Yes.
The second wave, we keep hearing about a second wave. What pandemic hasn't had one? There's been talk about it starting as early as September when the kids go back to school, or this winter. How confident are you that our long-term care homes are going to be staffed sufficiently and there's enough protocols in place so that the seniors that remain there aren't going to be the target of COVID?
Yeah, so I'm always concerned, and that's why we have to rely on places like Lakeridge Health. They were incredible, and that's the reason we had to pass Bill 195 to have the flexibility to move staff from the hospital into long-term care, because without them, we'd be in trouble. We really would. The frontline healthcare workers have been amazing. They're absolute heroes, and we really need that flexibility to support them. But in the long term, we need people in there full-time, not part-time bouncing from place to place. That was happening in the past. We need people full-time in these long-term care homes, and I think with a funding of $1.75 billion, we'll be able to do that.
Okay, and finally, Premier, one quick question about going back to school in September.
Yes.
There's only a month left.
Yeah.
Parents are incredibly concerned that this
Yeah.
will be the beginning of a second wave. When are we going to hear what plan is in place?
Well, this coming to a few, I think it's on Friday, the next few days. He's going to be coming out, the Minister of Education, with a plan. Again, it's all about consulting with the Board of Education, teachers, and along with the parents, and of course the students. So many students I've never heard. When we were all growing up, you know, summer break, a lot of us didn't look forward to going back to school. But the kids are looking forward to going back to school. Parents want certainty. They want to be able to go to their jobs knowing that the kids are in a safe environment with heightened protocol and procedures. And we're going to roll out the plan again with consultation, because you can't compare Timmins to Toronto or Kitchener, you know, to another rural area, be it Peel or it's different when you're up in Kenora than it is in the big urban centers. So they may have a couple different plans. He put forward 3 different plans to the boards, and they're doing a good job. There's nothing, which is great about this province, is there's no hurdle that we can't get over. And I always say it's not about the government. It's about the 14.5 million people that have helped us out, and we're looking forward to getting all the advice and all the help, getting the kids back in school. We're consulting with sick kids, some of the brightest health minds when it comes to children anywhere in the world, sick kids, along with our health table. And there's different points of views I always hear. I heard a report from Harvard that came out, and their model was not to have the kids have the mask all the time, you know, take a break, and the teachers, because it'd be tough to wear this mask 8 hours a day for a teacher, maybe go outside, take a little break. Sick kids is recommending no masks at all. So it's a tough decision, but we always have to go with the health experts.
Okay, one more question. How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
You have a lot of pressure and a lot on your shoulders.
Well, I appreciate that, but I have the best team in the world, and the team, again, is the people of Ontario. I play the smallest part in this. Everyone else pitching in, people like Jeff and Eric that didn't need to be told, didn't have, you know, get the phone call and say, can you do it? When we made a call, 23,000 companies stepped up, switched over their lines, and it's just unbelievable. There's nothing we can't do. There's no one we can't compete against anywhere in the world. We have the greatest jurisdiction in the world, and I always say we support each other, buy made in Ontario, made in Canada products, and we need to stick together like we've never stuck together before.
When you became Premier, did you ever imagine that you'd be going through this?
I never in a million years. I don't think any of us were, but again, I'm so impressed about how people, I always compare it, I'm a big history buff, and I watch these World War II shows and everything, and how people retooled. And when the men went to war, you know, everyone, all the women, the moms, everyone jumped into production lines, and they were making airplanes, tanks, cars. And without that production line moving, you don't know the results of World War II. It could have been a different way, but that's what we did. Everyone jumped in there, everyone rolled up their sleeves and really pitched in, and we're a great leader in the world. I was watching CNN the other day, using Ontario as an example. When you have 14.5 million people, an economic powerhouse that we are in North America, and we're seeing 111 cases today, 119 the other day, it's pretty amazing. And if you know, and out of those, I think 60% came from two regions. So we're doing good, but we can never let our guard down, never take our eye off the ball for a second. We have to be vigilant continuously, because we all know the second wave is coming. Are we prepared? We're 100 times better prepared as a province, as a people, to deal with the second wave as we were when the first wave hit us.
Okay, thank you, Premier.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
Okay, so Jeff, what was it like to have the Premier come and tour the facility and listen to your story?
We were really excited to share our story with the Premier. Premier keeps talking about at all his press conferences of Team Ontario, and we've been working really closely with our local suppliers, our sticker manufacturer just down the road. All the folks have really worked together to really kind of make it through the pandemic, and we've appreciated their support and tried to support them as well. So it was really exciting to show the Premier around and share that story with them. So we were excited today.
What was he most surprised by?
He really loved the canning line. Obviously, it's cool watching the mechanized cans roll off. We like to say it's like watching a fire. You just get lost in the conveyor belt of cans one after another. So he was really had lots of questions on that.